Let's contemplate our big beautiful swimming pool. It's here because we're showing a future where we travel the solar system at will. It won't be until then that on a place like the moon, you'd have enough water to swim in it for fun. It's possible the water could come from the moon itself, but only if there is enough ice mixed into the soil at the bottoms of craters at the lunar poles to be mineable for a profit. Now, those craters are some of the coldest places in the solar system because the sun has not reached inside them for billions of years. To mine them, you'd have to send heavy equipment down at least a kilometer or two below the level of the rim, somehow heat a large enough mass of soil to extract a usable amount of water, haul that water back up to the rim of the crater, split it into hydrogen and oxygen so that it can be used as rocket fuel, and then transport that into orbit where a rocket can actually use it. To do that on a scale where not only have you made a profit sufficient to also supply a colony on this scale on the lunar surface, to the point where you can even have swimming pools, well, that means you've been able to supply an awful lot of rockets going an awful lot of places. There may not be enough water at high enough concentrations at the poles of the moon for that to be a viable business. In that case, this water would have to have come from asteroids, or maybe the icy moons of Jupiter or Saturn, or even the rings of Saturn. It's near-Earth asteroids that would be mined this way first, but to do something like this, that implies that you're doing much more than mining water, which means also that you're going a lot further afield for a lot of different reasons. In that case, probably your transport system is no longer mostly based on rockets, but instead is mostly mass drivers, skyhooks, solar sails, all sorts of exotic things. So maybe this water actually comes from a Jovian moon, and that seems sort of appropriate because in the lunar gravity, you'd be able to frolic in this pool like you were a dolphin. You'd be able to leap out of it so high that you could cannonball back down, and the splash you created would be so big it would reach people over by the far wall. And that's the other reason why we put this pool here, is so that later on we can do a simulation. And then you can come and do those fancy dives and leaps and splashes that are only possible in a lunar pool. And then you'll understand what we mean when we say the future is big.